Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday morning. I haven't even had my coffee yet. The sun is just starting to come up. And you may wonder what the heck I'm doing out here so early. Well, I mean, it's like 5:30, 5 o'clock maybe. I was up early today. So I figured, looking at the forecast, we're going to get into some heat that's pretty crazy. They're actually calling it dangerous heat. So that was my nickname in college. There's chances of rain and showers today and tomorrow, but they're going to be like the really scattered, isolated pop-up ones. So this video is going to be full of little tips. My first tip is don't trust the forecast, because it may, unless it's like if it's 60% or above, then don't worry about watering. But if it's like 60%, 55% or below, I'd water. So what I'm doing this morning is I'm syringing. I don't have my mount, so my gimbal, so just bear with me. But what I'm doing is this area is right by the street, and I think there's probably still a little bit of gravel and rock left over from when the street was paved 20 years ago. And even in addition to that, it's clay soil, which doesn't hold moisture the best, and the heat radiates off of this part of the road and onto the grass. So I am syringing this area that I know dries out. There's a couple areas that I know dry out, and it's along the driveway. And you can almost kind of see them a little bit. And it's along the street. And I've got a spot in there that I've been keeping an eye on. I think they had a really big for sale sign at this house, like the 4x4 or 6x6 square post. And I think they had it sunken into a bit of gravel. And I think that gravel is still left, and it gets really hot and it burns things up. So I'm going to syringe this, and then I'm going to water. So this is why the lawn care nut Alan Hain will teach you to learn your land. Well, this is why you need to learn your land. Think about it. Farmers that farm for a living, whether it's beans, corn, wheat, silage, whatever it is, they know their land. They know that, okay, this field here has a drain tile issue or doesn't have drain tile, and it floods in this northeast corner or this southwest corner. And they know that, hey, we got to get this area planted, or we may not be able to plant here because of the water. Or they know that this area is on a hill, so it's at the top of the hill. It's going to dry out faster. So this is why it's important to know your particular piece of land and understand what it needs at certain times of the year. I know that I have a low spot over in that area, and that's why the domination is so strong right there, because my fertilizer washes towards that low spot. So a quick update about the lawn. We've been using the Ego products a lot. Tease. I was fortunate enough to get a bunch of Ego products from Ego and the lawn care nut, and I'm going to be doing a initial reaction review coming up, or initial reaction video coming up, and then a full-fledged review somewhere down the line. So that's your teaser. So I've been using the Ego products. I am mowing normally. I sprayed everything with 1801 Green Punch a couple days ago, and it looks really, really good. And I think I did it at like 15, 16 ounces per thousand, somewhere in there. I think you can go anywhere from 12 to 18. I went on the higher end because I knew I'd be watering. And then I'm just kind of letting it ride. I did a stress blend application about a month ago to prepare it for the summer heat, which is coming this week. And everything's looking good. So let's go over a few tips real quick about what you need to be doing. Let me switch hands here again. I don't have my gimbal, so I'm being an amateur. Let's do some quick tips. Now is the time you want to bring your mower height all the way up if you have cool season grass. So for me, that's 4 1/4 inches. People say, well, then you're out there mowing all the time. In the spring, yeah, twice a week. Sometimes 3 if you're really pushing fert hard. But in the summertime, you got to remember, even if you're watering, your growth is going to be a little bit slower than it was when you started out in the spring, because that's our peak. Our cool season grasses do their most growing in the spring and in the fall. So bring your mower height up. You might ask why. The answer to that question is it helps to not violate the 1/3 rule, which is you don't want to take off any more than 1/3 of the grass blade at any given mowing. It also helps to shade the roots and keep it cooler and keep it more moist. Think about it. If you're walking in the forest and it's 90 degrees outside, you're going to feel all the humidity from the forest floor and the canopy, but the tree canopy is also going to shade where you're at. You could see 10 to 15 degrees cooler temperatures than what you do out in an open farm field, let's say. So that's another important reason you want to shade the roots. It also helps not have any competition from weeds. If you're taking a lot of that sunlight from, if the grass plant is taking a lot of the sunlight and photosynthesizing it, there's less for the weeds to have. Weeds are opportunistic. They will grow at any crack, crevice, anything like that. Street. That's why you see them growing out of the sides of highways, because they don't need much. So, just watering my daylilies. So if you can take away any of the area for weeds to grow, you're not going to have to deal with weeds. Another thing is you want to water deep and infrequently. At least a ½ inch of water each time you water. Maybe every other day, every 2 days. You don't want to go too crazy and get your lawn all intoxicated off of rain, because then it's not going to learn to survive and thrive on its own. So if you can water deep and infrequently, you're going to push roots farther. The roots are going to want to go looking for water, and believe me, they will. And that will make everything better in the long run, because you'll have a stronger root system. So bring your mower to a higher level. Don't mow. Well, let's go over. So bring your mower to a higher level. Water deep and infrequently, at least a ½ inch of water every other day or every 3 days, whatever your schedule fits. People are going to tell you, oh, you can't water at night. You can. Your grass isn't going to self-destruct. The big thing is with that is that you need to be careful and not make a habit of that, because it's not best practice. We always do things based on best practice. So it is not best practice to water at night, because it can introduce funguses, fungi. The lawn will not have time to dry out. But if that's the only time you can water, if you got a super busy week or super busy 2 weeks and all you can do is run your sprinkler at 9 o'clock at night, then so be it. Do it. It's better than not watering at all. You don't want to water in the middle of the day, not because it's going to burn your grass. That is a myth. I hear that from so many old school, same guys that don't believe in ethanol destroying carburetors. I don't worry about that. That ethanol ain't nothing. It ain't gonna do nothing. I've been using pump gas for 40 years. Well, those are the same group of people that'll tell you, if you water in the day, you're gonna burn your lawn. It acts like a magnifying glass when you burn ants as a kid with the sun. Not true. The reason why you don't want to is because you're not getting the best bang for your buck out of your water. It's gonna evaporate before it can soak into the root system. So, get your watering right, get your mowing right, and make sure that you are all set and ready to go. And just keep up on the areas that need the help. And my last tip is kind of don't mow in the heat of the day. You never want to put your grass through any undue stress. Not that mowing is a huge stressor, but if it's 85 to 90 degrees, let's even higher. It's supposed to be like 96 by me this week. Switching hands like an amateur again. So it's supposed to be like 96 by me this week, okay? If I'm going to mow in 96 degree weather with 100% humidity and I'm walking all over my grass, the lawn's just going to kind of lay there and act all stupid. So you want to mow in the evening, early in the morning, and don't stripe. If you're somebody like me who likes to put your stripe kit on and go to town, please, 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 please do not stripe. It's just going to put the grass under unnecessary stress. And I striped one time last year when it was really hot for 4th of July to try and get those good stripes going for the 4th. The stripes were there for the rest of the year. The crowns just laid down and never came back up. So those are my tips. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your support. Keep the subscribers coming. Tell your friends about the channel. If there's something you want me to cover, leave it in the comments. If there's something you don't like about the videos, let me know. Follow me on Instagram at @the_turf king, and we'll see you when we see you. Do something in the lawn, even if it's wrong.